Hello and welcome to another episode of Supercoach Insider. My name is Chris and welcome to my team going into round 10, almost halfway through the season and getting there. Pretty important time of the year. It's now business time. It's business. It's business time. And of course, today's episode, just like all of our episodes, is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in the men's below the waist grooming. Their products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's performance package is the ultimate in men's hygiene. Bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer: 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SC Insider 100 at manscaped.com. And that is, if my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. And I will jump in. I'm in Sydney. I'm going from a hotel. I was lucky enough to bring my Manscaped travel bag today, which you also get with the bundle, which actually is legit. It's really, really nice. Really, really good material. But it just really lucked out with this because I need it and it's perfect timing. I always need a travel bag for my items that I travel with, and my other one just broke. So this actually came in really good handle. But I actually really like the material. The strapping is quite nice. If I don't say so myself, and it is big enough. What I find is a lot of travel bags for toiletries is they're just not quite big enough to fit the things that I use in them. Like, unfortunately, I use quite a lot of products. Yeah, I need to. I've got the hair product. I've got the obviously the Manscaped, the shaver, deodorant, like you name it, it's all in there. I also take I moisturize. Don't tell anyone. So yeah, I'd actually need quite a few products, and this is quite by far and away one of the best in terms of size bags, and just comes with a package. I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." Anyway, I digress. How did I go this week, guys? So if you've listened to the pod already, you'll know that I went okay, not bad, not awesome. I was predicted going into the round about 24.50, and I think everyone had pretty high predictions. And I ended up on 22.41, which wasn't terrible. A little bit of a rank drop, but still inside the top 1,000 there at rank 993. So not a terrible week. My trades this week, I did bring in Clary, and I captained him, so that was unfortunate. So I went Cornelio to Clary, so that was a good win. I also traded. Let me have a look here. Let's get into the team, and I'll be able to identify who I also got in outside of Clary. So just jumping into where we're at. Obviously, the week prior, I did also trade Hewitt. So with him having a pretty decent score, I'm going to need to get him back. I managed to hold Raul. So instead of trading Raul to Clary, I'd end up trading Cornelio, which is the one that I held. I traded Josh Ward as well. He was one of the rookies I did. And then, of course, Roses. So those were the three guys that I traded out. In came Hamilton. I ended up getting Rioli. Obviously, he was on the bench, so I was lucky that I didn't field him. And of course, the big one in Clary, so a big upgrade there. So I'll go through the scores from the week. I mean, I was a bit disappointed really with Witherden with his 104. I mean, obviously, quite a few of the defenders did end up scoring quite well there, but Witherden just sort of a mediocre 104. I was really hoping for a 120, 130. Short had a bit of I say, a down game with an 88, but it wasn't terrible. Crisp, again, they got smashed, but still managed to ton up there. Doherty 108, still keep on keeping on with Dockers. Luke, Ryan's got to go, but I got to hold him until the bye. He's just bleeding me cash. I mean, if we look at Luke Ryan's break even now, break even at 117, I mean, that's gettable, but he really needs to get like a decent score. Otherwise, he's just going to plummet, and I do have to hold him. Like, I've got no other choice. But look at his scores. I mean, since he scored 109 back in round six there, he's gone, what's this, 62, what was the next one? 75 and 63. I mean, those are as poor as anything, and not really an excuse for it either. Now, hopefully, this week he comes up against Collingwood. Hopefully, that he can have a good game. I mean, he's going to be playing on some really bad forwards, so all I can do is just hold my fingers, cross my fingers, and hope really for that. Dacos 69. So look, yeah, I've obviously lost a bit of points there going with McCartan. I'm going to try and keep Dacos, but I'll go through my trades and what I'm planning. He's also on the cards I could trade him as well. So there's a couple of things there. See how we go. Neil 115. So I'm kind of glad that Neil didn't go huge because I know he was a captain option for a lot of guys, especially when Oliver only went 99, when I was tipping him to go massive. I'm going to probably double down on the Oliver captain this week. So we'll see how we go. But I think that there's definitely a big score in him. Rory Laird. What else do I say about Rory Laird other than, I am the greatest for choosing him. And you are also the greatest for choosing him this week. I know a lot of people are jumping on. Yeah, I've had him for a while, and I honestly, he's a breath of fresh air every single week, just lighting it up. Tuki back to his best. Now he's up around that 119.6 average where he should be, and moving up towards that top six midfielder, which is where he's going to live all season. McRae, I mean, there was quite a few dogs that scored really, really well. He just had a mediocre game. Again, it probably was the best thing in terms of having a poor captain because I think there was not very many really good captains this week. So Cooper with the 83, a bit strange, but that was the first week with all of the mids. And no one's really said this yet, but a little bit worried about Cripper. I'm going to monitor for the next couple of weeks and see how he goes. But I am a little bit worried because it's the first time we've seen Cripps alongside, Walsh, Hewitt, Chera, and Kennedy all in the same side as well. So yeah, we'll see how we go there and see what happens. Jackie Steele is someone I've got to trade, of course. Props to Jack Steele. Gets injured, I think he was on 30 or something when he got injured. It comes out and manages a 74 after busting an AC joint. Like, that's just heroic effort. So he saved his price because otherwise it was in the tank and it was going down. So he probably saved 10, 15K for us just by doing that. So good. Thank you to Jackie Steele. And look, you may be in the side later in the season, you may not be, but you've done a good job, mate. You've done a good job. Held Rowell and just disappointed. I can't be like more disappointed. I mean, the bonus is like I held Rowell over Cornelio, so I've gained 40 points by doing that. But I mean, he's averaging 92. I mean, look at Rowell's scoring. It's just terrible. 157 in round one, but then look at all these shitty scores. And when he does ton up, soft tons. 103 twice, 99, an 88, and then a 78. Like, surely there's a big score in here. Surely he comes up against the Dogs this week and says, you know what? And look at this run. He's got the Dogs, obviously the Dogs. The only reason why you don't score against the Dogs is not because necessarily they lock down on you or they restrict midfield scoring or anything like that. It's purely because they get so much of the pie. So they might be getting 1,900 points and there's a lot less of the pie for you guys to get. Therefore, it's hard to score against them. But he's got the opportunity this week. Hawthorn again, decent matchup, and then North right before the bye. I mean, you kind of got to hold him, right? I think that's the play. Even after the bye, he comes back. I mean, if you really wanted to hold him, he's got Adelaide, Port, Collingwood, Richmond, Essendon. If he's going to score, that's the period he's going to do it. So I'm actually I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days. Is Matt Rowell worth trading at this point? Maybe if you can get him to M9, might be an opportunity there. Might be an opportunity to actually get some decent cash out of him or get some decent points out of him. But yeah, I've been disappointed with him. And I don't not wish I did. I mean, obviously he's been all right, especially with that first game. But it's been a bit of a roller coaster. All the rookies pretty much on my bench sucked. But McComb 41, Rioli 7. Still got Owens, but he'll come in handy this week with my loophole. Moving on to Bruce and Hayes. I'll tell you what, I copped it from the boys when Hayes was looking really bad. And he's still, 55 isn't great. But then when Gorn dropped to 73, I went, guys, are you happy with your 18 points? Or like what are we doing? And I just sledges. Oh, and if you add Hayes this week and last week compared to Gorn this week and last week, Gorn has outscored him by 2 points. It's just great. So for all us praise owners, well done. Now moving to the forward line, Dunkley, good again. Parker, sufficient, not without being amazing. Brody is just killing it right now. Now, unfortunately, we've got to keep an eye on Brody because Fife's obviously either back this week or next week. So keep an eye on what happens to his role over the next couple of weeks. It's a good time for us to find out. And here's the reason. If his score starts tanking, we've got a bit of time. So if you have a look at his break even, let's jump on here. Break even, break even. Where am I looking for? Break even. Up top. There we go. Break even at 48. So I mean, let's say he drops a 70 this week or back-to-back 70s. At least his price is going to stabilize at around that sort of 480 to 490. So you've made your cash and you've got a few weeks to decide. So you probably could, you know, basically wait for him until round 14, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. So in 4 rounds, even if he's scoring really poorly, first of all, you get a good sample size of his new role and what his scoring potential is going to be. And second of all, you get him through the buys to be able to trade him in that round 14 period to probably one of the dogs that's going to be a forward. So, yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better out of Brody. Even if Fife does come back and change his role, he's done his job, and like you will, Brody. Hopefully not. Hopefully, they see that his improvement and what needs to happen is him staying in midfield. But we'll see how we go. Butters, Salvation with a 104. Hopefully he can turn that around. He's still got a pretty shitty break even because of those scores that are still in his cycle, but next week they come out. So his break even's 91, so that's obviously achievable. So if he hits that, and his predicted score is, what's his predicted score? Projected score 70. So if he hits that, his break even will drop to a 68 anyway. So he'll start going back up. So all we really need to see from Butters to not tank in price is a 70. And he's obviously capable of doing that. Then he's got Essendon, so he can go 150 there. And then to get you through the buys, Richmond, or you can score against Richmond. Let's have a look here. So Richmond and then Sydney, and then he's got Gold Coast. So, fingers crossed for Butters. I think he does come good. I think he's the one you hold between him and CONIGLIO. Cameron at 90. Now, that could have been a lot higher. He looked so good in that first quarter. I think he finished the first quarter on 38, scored like 7 points in the second quarter where they absolutely got dominated. So 90 still a good score when they absolutely got pumped. And I'm looking forward to another decent score this week. Their matchup is against who are they playing this week? Pies are playing Geelong. No, that can't be right. Upcoming picture. At Cardinia Park? Really? Oh no, that's Butters. Oh wow, okay. Frio, that's right. Yeah, so he's up against Darcy, who is out of form. Darcy could obviously turn it on. It's a bit of a worry game there, but let's see how he goes because Witts scored very well, got 113 against Darcy last week, and people have been scoring against him. So there's every chance that Darcy Cameron comes out and does perform and goes quite well. I worked out he's averaging about 105 in this role in this 3-game sample size as the main ruck. That's plenty. That's really, really good for Darcy Cameron. I still am looking at trading him around 14, but we'll see how we go. Nick Martin, 59. Time to go, potentially. You could hold him this week. He's playing Richmond, of course, so it's not like he's a must trade. Probably need to get rid of him for round 12 though to be able to maximize his cash, which means you either trade him this week or next week. See how you go. But Nick Martin for me is probably the one that goes. And then again, Connor McDonald was a sub, but he come on and get a 30, which I think his break even was 20. So he made like 2K. But now look at his break even. It's gone up to 49. So probably needs to trade him this week. I'd love to be able to hold him through the buys, but I don't think I can. And Hamilton had a great game. He's definitely decided that he's the best rookie. He made 50 grand in his first week. He still has a break even of negative 22. Connor Hamilton was the one. We said it all week, and I'm glad that he turns it on for us. So that's good. All right. Coming into this week. So what am I doing? Obviously, we need to find a Jack Steele replacement. I have one boost left, which is well timed. I'll be able to use that this week to find a replacement for Steele. And I need to get Hewitt back because his break even has dropped again. He had a break even 86 with a 121 in his cycle. He's going up. So I need to get onto Hewitt. Obviously, the other one is Clark. So the 3 ins basically speak for themselves. And I'm going to save the 3rd in, but Hewitt and Clark are the 2 that definitely need to come in. And then there's a 3rd. Now, with my structure and with the buy structure, I've got two options. I can either bring in a round 12 premium because it is actually, I've planned to have that a round 12 premium, or I can bring in a round 14 midfielder. Now, the problem is the round 14 midfielders, because I got Clary last week, the only ones are Track and Brayshaw, both who I don't have in my team. Both are who are decent value, but both who I think are picks. I'm not in love with him. Brayshaw, I feel like he's coming down. Maybe he's just young and he comes out of the box firing, had a great fixture, had a great run, had that 180 in his cycle. I mean, let's have a look at Brayshaw's scoring. It's just been meh. It's just there's not really so much that I'm just like, oh my gosh, Brayshaw is just like the one that you must have. And his draw coming up is not that fantastic. But obviously, decent draw this week with Collingwood because you can score against Collingwood. But then he's got Melbourne, Brisbane back to back, which obviously is, that's probably two of the hardest midfield games that you can have. Melbourne, Brisbane, then Hawks, then Carlton, then Port and Saints that are in form. Sydney can be restrictive. Then Richmond. So still plays Melbourne again. So they've still got two games against Melbourne. They play the Bulldogs as well before West Coast and GWS in the last two. And West Coast have already, so GWS have already shown their propensity to tag. So, I mean, I don't love that fixture, that profile is currently averaging, what, 116, I think it is. I tipped him to average 115 for the season. Yeah, I don't love the pick. If I'm going to pick between him and Track, I'm probably going Track. And part of that would be obviously an immediate win with North coming up this week. So, plays North this week, so there's a bump. But then they've got Freo, Sydney again, who can be restrictive. Pies, though, is all right. Then Lions, Adelaide, Geelong, Port, Bulldogs, Freo again. So they play Freo twice. They play Collingwood twice. They've got Carlton still and the Lions twice in that run. So I don't love Melbourne's fixture either. But as an immediate win when you're playing North, that's the edge. So I do think that Petraka over the next few games, again, he's averaging almost 116, so zero point 0.4 more. Is that great? Here's the money pick, guys. Now, if you don't have Laird, I would say Laird's probably the best pick, but a lot of people can't get round 13 premiums, which is a big issue. So if you cannot get a round 13 premium, in my opinion, this is the pick you want. And his name is Sammy Walsh, and I'm getting him. I'm just locking that in. I think that at 600k is decent value. He has a break even of 116, so you could probably hold off. You can try and hold off until that first buy if you want. But currently in 4% of teams, no one's looking at getting on right now. He may be in a lot in a few weeks, or something else could happen. He's also rumored to be playing quite a little bit forward. And what's actually happened is he's been playing off that half forward flank and then pushing into stoppage. So he's not necessarily playing, he's playing as a midfielder, but as a fifth midfielder and rotating through that midfield group from centre bounce. Now, obviously, you'd like to see him with more centre bounce attendances in there with that midfield. But what we've already seen is that the Carlton midfield are going to be able to score points. All of them are going to be able to score points because they're coached by the former Bulldogs midfield coach. They're all going to be able to score points. I'm not worried about that at all. Yes, it means I've got Dockers, Cripps, Walsh, and Hewitt. I don't care. Those midfielders and defenders are they're points cows. They just love it. But look at this. Look at their fixture, Carlton's fixture. So this week they got Sydney. Again, is he the one you tag? Probably not. You probably want to tag Cripps, who's arguably the most informed midfielder in the competition right now. Pies, easy. They're going to kill the Pies at this stage of the season. Essendon, midfield leakage. Richmond, midfield leakage. Freo are tough. It's a tough matchup. Saints, they should run over the top of. West Coast, obviously they're going to run over the top over them. Geelong, a tough matchup. Then GWS. But again, are you going to tag him? Or are you going to let him go free? Probably let him go free. Then Adelaide, and they don't really have any tough matchups. So they've got the Geelong in 18, but they've got Brisbane and Melbourne, and they play Collingwood twice in that time. And something that I'd like to highlight as well is that Sam Walsh's highest score ever is 193 against Collingwood, and he gets to play them twice over the next however many rounds there are left. Another unique thing is Sam Walsh has played 69 games of AFL football. 69. He hasn't even played anywhere near 100 games yet. And his highest score for the teams remaining, the lowest is against Melbourne, which is 111. The next lowest is 122 or above. Like just going through. So Sydney's highest score is 161, Collingwood 193, Essendon 130, Richmond 122, Freo 138, St Kilda 141, West Coast 124, Geelong 158, GWS 132, Adelaide 131, Brisbane 141, Melbourne 111, and again Collingwood with that 193. Like he's just got proven scoring ability for a guy that's played 69 games of footy. And if you look at his current season, coming back over Syndesmos, his first game he had a 90, but since then he's only dropped below 100 once. And he's had scores of 124, 101, 128, 106, 129, 89, 149. Yeah. I was waiting to see how he would perform with everybody else in there, and he stole the show. I love the pick. He's in, as I said, 4% of teams. I think he's the best round 12 buy player left. The second one, and probably a close second, is Darcy Parish, and that's who I'm also looking at getting. But I'm going to wait. Part of this is price because I can't afford to get Parish. I'm actually about $200 positive of getting Sam Walsh, but about 10K short of getting Parish. So these are going to be my trades this week. So obviously Steele does need to go. So let's pop these through. All right. Here we go. Thank you very much. Now, of course, I'm still running on the Wi-Fi here, guys, so you have to bear with me because the internet's not the greatest thing of all time. Here we go. Eventually, we'll get there. Alrighty. So we also, again, we need to get in Hewitt. Now, how are we going to get there? I'm actually going to, so I've got two options. I can trade Nick Dacos straight to him, of course. But remember, Dacos has the round 14 buys, so he's going to be able to hold us through those buys. My best option is to actually trade out Nick Martin. So I'm going to trade out Nick Martin because he has the round 12, so he needs to go in the next few weeks anyway. He's maxed out in my opinion in terms of cash grab. It's the right time to trade him. So let's just go ahead and do that now. And the other one is Connor McDonald. So I'm just going to trade him out now. His break evens exceeded his average. I'd love to be able to hold him, but I'm able to and not really affect my buy structure. So that's my plan. So how I'm going to do this is obviously I do have that mid forward in the midfield on the bench with Rioli. So I'm going to send him forward. Put him to this. Oh, nope, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to send him forward. I'm also going to send McCartan forward, but I'm going to hold Dacos. So Dacos is going to stay on the bench out the back there. And this is how I'm going to line it up. All right. So the first one is Sammy Walsh. Where are you, Walshy? Samwise Walsh. Let's go with average because that's probably easier. You'll find him a little bit better. Oh. Now, hopefully, guys, there was news about Jack Crisp having a bit of a cold at the moment. So hopefully he plays this week, guys. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Greg Clark is the other one, of course. So he's going to go straight on. And again, guys, somehow Matt Rouse gets saved another week. So he gets another week in my team to try and prove himself. I mean, I've given this guy that many chances. Every week I've been saying, yep, no, it's time to go. No, he's still going to hang around. And then Hewitt needs to come back in. Alrighty, there we go. All right, so this is how I'm going to line up this week. Let's complete those trades. As you can see, 300 buckaroonies left in my team. So it basically clears me out of cash, but team is definitely better. One upgrade and one injury correction this week. I've actually planned out my trades for basically until the end of the buys, and it looks like I'm going to come out of the buys with 6 trades remaining, full premium side, including two sideways trades in round 14 from existing premiums. And by those, I mean, right now I'm looking at trading Cameron and I'm looking at trading Luke Ryan. So those are the two guys that I'm looking at trading. We'll see how that all comes to fruition. All right, so now let's tidy up this team. I'm going to sub, obviously, Hewitt onto the field. And so that pushes Luke Ryan to D6. I've just got to hope that Luke Ryan just comes and starts playing football, guys. There's really nothing else I can do at this point. Am I going to play him off the bench and play like a McCartan or something like that? Like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm wired that way. I've just got to hope. Um, and I know that that might not be the best thing to do, but it is what it is, right? Oh, there we go. All right. So Greg Clark, I'm going to run off as M9 and try and loop him. See how we go. I'm not this week. It'll work with my VCNC, and I'll get to that soon. Dixon gets another week there, so that's one that I've got to trade. But I'm actually going to trade Dixon next week to English. So just something that to be aware of is that that will push Hayes out to R3, and English will actually come into here. So that's just something to keep an eye on. His break even's 55. He shouldn't really lose much cash, even if he gets named. So I'm happy just keeping on to him for a little bit, seeing how we go. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to play McCartan on field. So we're going to, as I said, the only two rookies that we've got left on field are Hayes and McCartan in this week, and I'm looking to trade one of those in the coming weeks. So there we go. We'll put him there. We'll still run Hamilton as the emergency here. Dixon can be the emergency there. Now, vice captain and captain, guys, I think it's a very clear choice for me this week. I am going to back with Clayton Oliver, and I'll captain Lockie Neal. I've got the Mitch Owens loop, which allows me to do that. So I've just got to keep an eye on Clary's score and make sure that I'm happy to take that. Also, it means that I'm not locked into taking Greg Clark's score because he plays after. So I can move one of my premiums onto the bench in order to take a captain loophole. So that's an important consideration. But that is my team this week, guys. Hopefully, you guys are traveling well. Let me know in the comments how you guys are going, what you guys are looking at doing, and if you guys need any help, I'm happy to help as much as possible. Thanks, guys. Thank you to our sponsors in Manscaped, Splash Vodka, and Earnu.io. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.